Over the weekend of the 29th to 31st of July, the Bluebell Railway ran an event to celebrate the 150th birthday of its Terrier tank engine, FENCHURCH'S. Sadly, FENCHURCH itself was limited to viewing in the shed as it's still undergoing a full overhaul. However, the class was represented by two guest locomotives, Newport and Poplar. This video covers the activities of Friday the 29th of July. And here we see Newport and Poplar arriving at Horsted Station. With the Terriers on their way up to East Grinstead, the Class O took the other three carriages back to Sheffield Park. And now we see the Maunsell Q class approaching from the north, heading in towards Horsted Keynes. At this point, I decided to head north alongside the track. As I did so, I came across a line-side fire, I assume started by a cinder that must have been thrown from one of the trains, and decided I should draw attention to the next train coming up the line, which was drawn by Auto 151, the 264 Class 4 tank. The next southbound train was drawn by the two Terriers, Newport and Poplar. Clearly the message regarding the fire had been passed on, as they drew to a halt right beside the fire, and I noticed one of the crew went down with a shovel to attack the fire and get it under control, hopefully put it out. The next train coming up the line was drawn by the Stirling 060 Class 01, number 65, on its way up to Kingscote and then on to East Grinstead. British Rail Standard Tank Class 4MT heads south on its way back to Horsted Keynes and then on to Sheffield Park. All this time, fire was still smouldering, but the next train up, hauled by the Mansell Q-Class, was suitably equipped to spray water onto it from a distance and finally get it totally under control. Now approaching midday, I returned to Horsted Keynes station in time to see the two terriers coming up from Sheffield Park for their second run up the track that day. As the train drew to a halt, the crew descended and it was clear that they were concerned about something. It turned out, very sadly, that something had indeed damaged itself under the locomotive and it would no longer be able to continue in service for the rest of the weekend. Meanwhile, the Stirling Class 01 returns from East Grinstead.
Is now approaching platform number 4. Please stand back to the platform edge and wait for the train to stop before attempting to board the train.
At this point, I had to leave. However, there was just time to see one more train coming in, pulled by the Class 4MT British Rail tank. But I plan to return the following day to record more footage for part 2.